everyone, how are you doing? I hope everyone's smiling and happy and positive every single day. Okay, I've got a suggestion from my internet friend, Vibin with Ron, and he said that if I could discuss about why is submissiveness important as a wife in the family. Before I answer that, I will give you a bit of introduction of the word submissiveness. Now, this is being stereotyped, especially in the Western mentality, usually, that the docile Asian women are being connoted as slaves, sex slave, servant, literally servant. Yeah, it gets particularly tricky because of those connotations. They give multiple connotations on the word submissiveness. So it's kind of fun actually when I hear and see videos like that they try to insinuate that these are actually the direct meaning of the word submissiveness. Now, so particularly in the Philippines, we, time immemorial, we always recognize and see our men as the leaders, the bosses of our homes and our lives as women. It doesn't mean that we don't have a voice. We cannot say our opinions. We cannot say suggestions. We cannot decide. It's just out of respect also that we need to say first, tell our husband, inform us, our husbands that, okay, what if we do like this? I have a suggestion. Maybe it's good that we do like this. And the husband will listen. And if it's good for the family, for both, for everyone, he'll go for it. Of course, he has the last say. We don't usually say we really fight back or disagree with the decision, because submissiveness in the Philippines, it is a symbol and a sign of complete trust and love and respect to our men. We completely trust them with all these things because we understand that women are a bit indecisive on things, and yes, they are often not logical on a lot of serious, especially serious and complicated things that needs to be resolved. Men are more firmer when it comes to decision making and strong-willed, and we like that way because we know that we in the Philippines, it's not that we don't have that self-esteem or self-worth and we don't trust ourselves in our decisions. We do, but we know that men have more better decisions than us women in the Philippines. And the number one thing always for us is that the recognition, the acknowledgement, and the respect to our men. Because, we understand that they are the leaders ever since war in the society. Admit it or not, it's the way it is, really, since history, since time immemorial. So there was never an issue in the Philippines that, oh, I'm greater than you, men. Women are greater than men. We understand in the Philippines that our role is different than our men. Our significance in the society is different than men. So there was never really an issue on that. Even if a woman excelled in one aspect or one field, our men supports us. And no issue why she compete. It's not a competition really. Never such thing. Never passing in the brinks of our mind. really. And being a submissive wife, again, it doesn't mean that you're like a robot cleaner, like on off, go right, go left. It's not like that. Most Filipinas are humble and feminine, but they are about as submissive and as rabid as pit bulls when it is needed, when they feel disrespected, when they feel there is injustice and there is no real equality. For example, first we go outside the house. When a woman is working and she had a bit of argument with a manager, for example, and she felt that she was disrespected, not just she felt because it's like she's feeling it, but when there is real truth and she knows that she's fighting for her right, and for example, the specific example, like the manager would tell her to stay for overtime work and she wasn't paid, okay, prepare for Gabriela Silang. Gabriela Silang is a heroine of the Philippines who fought in the revolution before. So even before our history, we have heroines during the war who fought hand in hand, not above, even if there are some leaders, women leaders really in the revolution. If we dig in our history, there are a lot of women heroines who led men during the revolution, but there was never an issue that men felt inferior, or the women the leader, for example, Gabriela Silang, our heroine, felt that I'm stronger than you. You should follow me like this. No, she listens also to the men. It's just that she was actually, this is the story, a bit of, trivia. Her husband was killed during the revolution, who was really the real leader. So, after that, she took over, because she was always supporting her husband during that time. And she knows the tactics. She learned about those things, war techniques, and, the planning, warfares like this, from her husband, which was voluntarily taught by her husband. She was all the time there to support her husband, not in the war, but to help disseminate information, messages to other, team captains, as we say, to the followers or to the other revolutionary people in the group. So again, still the man was the leader. That is how submissive wives in the Philippines are. They are there to support their husbands, helpers to the husband, supporters and lovers at the same time. So even if we excel in other fields, we are the bosses of the companies, we are let's say I'm more intelligent than my man, for example, it's no issue. I mean, that we don't use those abilities, skills, or qualities that we have to pin down, or slap to the face of our man that, hey, I'm the boss here. You should follow me because I'm more intelligent than you. Or I'm more smarter than you. I got more money than you. I earn more money than you. No, it's not like that. Always, still, whatever the case may be, the women always, when they come home, they are a simple woman. better. They're a simple woman, they're a simple housewife that caters the needs of the husband, the kids, the whole family. Still doing all these household chores, still doing the responsibilities and duties as a wife, as a mother. But, we are taught to be like that since we were kids. As women, we should be modest, we should act like a real lady, we should be polite, we should be submitting to our husbands to be in the future. To respect the man around us, not just the husband, to be our father, grandfather, uncles, our brothers, and the people, the men around us, and everybody else. We do. Because we always believe that respect is earned. And at the same time, to recognize and acknowledge men in the society, it's more peaceful. Honestly, it's more peaceful. You will do all your respective roles harmoniously. There's nothing to prove, actually. You don't need to prove that you're greater than men or you're greater than anyone else, because we all do have distinct characteristics and qualities. We are made to be like that. It's law of nature, and it's the balance of nature. You do you destroy that balance, chaos. Really, chaos. So I am saying that while Filipinas are mostly humble, feminine, and submissive, they can be rabid as pit bulls when the need and the time arises. They are also taught to maintain that self-respect and self-value. Now, we go to the family, for example, or the homes, or a relationship between couples. When a woman is really battered or being abused, whatever it may be, and the patience has gone to, up finished line already, the rope has been cut. I always have this saying that while the rope is still connected, hanging, and then when it's going to, soon it's going to, it's like, slowly, gradually, when you try to extend your patience, and then of course the rope will eventually be broken. Let's say like that, be broken. You just imagine it. A Filipino will really leave and walk away. That's the time that they show that they have this self-respect, that they will just walk away from you and they will, okay, this is it. Stop. We are taught also like that. But as long as you have the patience, and we are taught really to be patient, because our old generation, our ancestors, our parents, grandparents always tell us marriage and a relationship, especially marriage, is not like hot steamed rice that you put in your mouth, and if you felt the heat, it's too hot inside your mouth, you just spit it out. It's not like that. So that's why there's a lot of planning, and as a woman you have to really make sure. So tendency, even sometimes some of women, it's not that they are really playing martyr in the relationship, but they stick to that saying that Filipinas always marry for life. They try to work out the relationship. They try to be patient. They try to really stick to that idea, that the principle that I decided this is what I wanted. So I have to work it out. I have to be sacrificing, if that's the right term. I have to do my best to make this work. But yeah, at the end of everything, if it doesn't really work, both is really different, not compatible, and it's too much. She feels disrespected. She felt abused, really, really abused. That's the time that she will have her strength to say, "This is it. Stop. I'm done." But they're not really that like easy. Okay, 1 year, 2 years. But of course, there are some who just too like that, but it's really rare in the Philippines. You could see a lot of women really sticking through thick and thin, and usually it's because of love and respect to the men. Love, really, love. They'll do everything for love, as long as they can hold it, and you know, they will really stay. Honestly, some other women, they are really even battered, and then questions will arise. Why did you stay? Why did you, it took you 10 years? Why it took you 20 years, 15 years before you leave the guy? Because this is the reason, not because we always wanted to have this principle that we decided this, and we wanted to work everything. Yeah, not because that we don't have our voice or we don't have our decision, but we stick to that idea that we should have this patience because we chose to be with that guy, and we wanted really our relationship to last, because our parents and our old generation or other people, sometimes there's some blaming after that. So that's why a lot of Filipinas would even keep it to themselves if they are being abused, or sometimes some, but now they're also voicing it out, and they go to different agencies and to ask for help. So but it's really, really very few percentage. Okay, usually some would just keep it to themselves because number one, they're shy to tell their family, because the family will also you see something like that. There's a blaming. You see, you're not sure why did you choose that man, but the the parents sometimes will do like that, or the family. Some only, very few, but it's just passing, and then afterwards they will still be there to support you whatever your decision, and they were not they will not really forsake you. Whatever happens, family is there. So family first, always in the Philippines. Oh, I think it's a long introduction. Okay, let's move on to sorry, my final answer. My friend vibing with Run, being a submissive wife is very important in the family because it is such a liberating experience. It's quite simple actually, because the only task of a submissive wife is to be a helper. That's it. You know, of course, each one has their own responsibility, amount of responsibility. It's like, I call it like there is always a distribution of labor, of love. You do the labor because you love your partner, because you respect your partner. Each has her own amount of responsibility her husband may set upon her. And that's fine for us. That's fine. And it's good. We feel proud actually that, oh, we're being trusted. For us, it means like that. It's not that we are being enslaved as what they think. I said that it is much more simple task to be a helper. It's much more easier than being strong and independent. Now, don't get me wrong on this again. There's nothing wrong to be a strong, submissive wife. But again, this strong, submissive wife is a different definition also on the other side of the word than we do. We have. Okay, I'm not a religious person. I read a lot of books. Okay, so in Proverbs 31, if you are religious, the word is also quite strong itself, being submissive. Why? Because, which I agree, because if you're a submissive woman, wife, you have that integrity. You have that self-discipline in you, because self-discipline, integrity, okay, integrity, because you will say, oh, I must do this to please my man so that my man will be happy. Integrity, that I don't like to do this because I think my man, my husband will be mad. It will disrespect him. It is not good for him. It is not good for the family. You will also think that always, not always your man, but you will always think that the effect on your man as the leader of the house. You'll always think the effect of, not like I will do this because of my man. No, it's not like that. Don't get me wrong. Like, you will think in a way that, oh, integrity, that this is wrong for you because this is not good for the whole family. My husband will get angry. Then if he gets angry, it affects us, the kids, me, the family. I will not do this because this is very shameful, embarrassing to my kids. These things, not that you don't do it because it's what your husband said, literally. It's not like that. You always think of the consequences, the results, the outcomes that will affect your husband, your kids, the whole family. So that's also self-discipline. You have that. Again, I always say we always have this, mostly we always have this conscience telling us, half of our brains, like, okay, like, in the cartoons, or there is a angel, devil, like here speaking to you, something like that. And of course, you will have a productive lifestyle that benefits her household, not her alone, her household greatly. I already said that you will be in harmony. There's no chaos. If it's actually automatic in the Philippines, I don't know. When the husband sees that you're doing well inside the house, or his family is in good hands, is everything is okay, the husband, they just don't say it, but deep inside them, they will really do their best to make your life comfortable and easy. You also, as a woman, he will give you all that you need, and the kids' needs, and the household's needs. It's more productive. And then after that, if you're doing these things as a wife, a helper, a supporter, a lover, it's a deadly combination again, Your husband and your children even will be proud of you. So there are so many benefits of being a submissive wife, to be honest. So regardless of the feminists and man-haters say, submission is really a blessing to women. It's just like you're doing your own respective roles, so there's no problem. I mean, of course, problems are always every day, but it's not that there is like overlapping of things. Let's say like you're bypassing each other. Actually, that is equality. Doing your role in the house and as a wife, and the husband is doing his, equal. For me personally, it's like that. So because they also think that when you say equal, when the man goes philandering, you will also do that. It's not like that. It's not the balance and the law of nature. Women are supposed to be modest. Women are supposed to be as is, feminine and with the morals. Men, accept it or not, men are naturally say, libidous, and they sleep around. It's, we have also a saying in the Philippines, like before. This is what my grandparents and my older people in our family always say. Even my mother-in-law before, they will say that, leave your husband alone when he goes to other women, or just sleep around like that, just fling like that, because it's their nature. As long as he still comes home to you and you are still the chosen one as the wife. But sometimes it gets too much, really, that, because this is also like contradicting actually in the Philippines, because Filipinas are very territorial, as I've said before in my previous videos, and very loyal. So they also expect like that, and they're always like one woman, one man kind of ideology. Even for men, they always want loyal women. So there are just cases that it's really, getting out of that. Number one reason in the Philippines of couple separation is cheating, infidelity, and extramarital affairs, because it's like also in our system, and it's always in our culture that you will always be loyal. So we always have this. So when you're cheating, and it's always the end of everything almost. So a lot of, if you could see there, maybe always the problem is like that. Not they fight because, oh, I earn, or I'll not do this, wash the dishes. It's not like that. No problem on that. Only cheating, adultery, concubinage, sleeping around like this is the main problem in the Philippines. And also, again, if the man finds out that you're irresponsible, like you have your kids and then you leave your kids at home and you go there to a casino and you gamble, or you go out every night with friends party, but your kids are at home. No, that's, or you're not doing household chores, but you are spending a lot of money to this and that without, with these unnecessary things. Also with the man, if the man is not a real man, like doesn't think of what's the family's needs, like he just make the woman pregnant and then don't give child support like that, always there in the drinking session, spending his money with these other girls and drinks, but he doesn't give to the kids, to the wife, like this. That's usually the case. And or he doesn't have a plan for the future of the kids. He doesn't even, like, never he tells you that okay, we will do this because we need to save, because like, if a Filipina usually don't hear that, the Filipina will really be turned off or will walk away eventually. Next one is being a submissive wife builds your character. It is where, this is what I mean with a strong woman, because imagine you're doing all these tasks, and if you were working at the same time, imagine doing all these things, then you're strong. Facing all the everyday hardships, struggles, and budgeting the house needs, the money for groceries, for the bills. It's mind-wrecking, actually. It's a difficult job, if you will say it as a job, not literal job, okay? But it's the hardest and noblest job, I may say.